assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Alright, I've mentioned on here before that I am a avid listener of the Busted Open podcast, so you can imagine I was caught quite off guard when I heard on Thursday that Tommy Dreamer and TNA have quote-unquote mutually agreed to part ways, and Tommy Dreamer is no longer part of the the head of creative when it comes to TNA wrestling. I'm not going to come on here and be the biggest TNA advocate or talk about how much I watch TNA or how much, how great TNA is, because to be honest, I haven't watched TNA in a long time. But I do know that, they at the beginning of the year, they had their big TV deal. They've really rebranded themselves to really be in competition with AEW and WWE. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler is a big part of TNA. Our YouTuber native, our OG, Chris Bay is in TNA. And the Hardy Boys, obviously. And then you had their thing with the Dudley Boys, their retirement match. So I know what's going on. But at the end of the day, I will not come on here and say that I'm a TNA fan. But to hear Tommy Dreamer's explanation of what happened and how he is going to miss coming into work, how things just aren't working out and he'll be fine, he really gave the lot of indicators that it was not a mutual thing. It was, I guess, TNA not agreeing to renew his contract. Maybe something happened, whatever. But he also mentioned that WWE actually let him go 4 years before his contract ended. So something gives me, the impression that this was definitely not mutual, that he obviously still wants to work there, but he is now, I guess, a free agent. He's kind of open to do whatever he wants to do. And that's when everything started to pour in when it comes to negativity. And I feel like the internet is notorious for taking someone who is getting praised and really be giving his flowers and just rain on that parade. It happened with John Cena, where he had a lot of guys coming out during that whole year of his retirement tour, just talking about that Cena screwed me over here, he didn't put me over here, he did this to me a long time ago. And a lot of this is public record, and a lot of this is former WWE superstars, which is even more surprising that guys who are supposed to hold a certain amount of professionalism can just bury someone so openly and so freely. But the thing is, with Tommy Dreamer, he is getting buried left and right by people who, to be honest, are nobodies. They're bottom of the barrel, ROH, AEW. Like, I had to look up who they are because I had never heard of them in my life. And I watch AEW quite regularly. And to see these people, men and women, come on Twitter and take to social media about, like, Tommy Dreamer said that I'll never be, I'll never get into the wrestling business. You're hearing stories, very far-fetched stories, especially from the women, who say that he insisted of doing certain spots during a match and they felt uncomfortable. And I think that's the thing with social media. You're only hearing one side of the story. There's really no proof of any of this even happening. And at this point, I feel like it happens with everyone. You saw it happen with Marty Scurll when that whole scandal came out, and I want to say around COVID time. And just any wrestler that really is going through the ringer, whether it be wrestler or celebrity, they are really, they get thrown in the mud. And it's open season on really anyone, even me. Like, I can come out right now and say, Tommy Dreamer messaged me on Instagram, and he said, your YouTube channel sucks and you'll never amount to anything and you're a piece of shit, like, whatever. And people are going to believe it. I can literally tweet that and people are going to retweet it. I might just do it just for the heck of it, just to prove a point. But you're seeing a lot of these guys who barely have 10,000 followers on social media. They still probably have their hashtag written on their tights, or they're just promoting every way they can just to get those extra likes, just to get those extra bookings. And they know that's a hot topic. And even for me, I know that drama is a hot topic to make a video about. And I know that people are going to gravitate towards, like, oh, look, this wrestler's getting shit on. Like, let me talk about this and let me get my hands wet or my feet wet when it comes to this conversation. And, this is typical wrestling 101, drama 101, human psychology 101, really, where people gravitate towards the fire. And right now, unfortunately, Tommy Dreamer, ECW wrestling legend, is the fire. And people are going to say whatever to make him look bad, to make themselves look good. And I'm not going to come on here and say that I believe any of it. I'm firmly believing that everything that is being said about him is false. It's literally one person's story. And you see a lot of the women who are posting it too, which is even more funny because it's so easy for female wrestlers to come on social media and be like, we had a mixed tag match and he wanted to do this and I was uncomfortable, but I was young and I was new to the business, so I couldn't say I couldn't say no. And then you go on their profile and you're so uncomfortable, but you have an OnlyFans, then you're so it's it's very it's very contradictory. And I just think that if you're really gonna come on social media and talk about how uncomfortable someone makes you, really check your facts. And then you go on your OnlyFans and you see you're posting naked pictures of yourself, but that's okay. But allegedly Tommy Dreamer made you do something where you're so uncomfortable, and now you're traumatized and you're going to therapy, and you can't bear to look at yourself in the mirror or look at the name of Tommy Dreamer, because he just shocked you so much when you were so young. But just stupidity like that. And then people playing the race card, which is another good one, but I'm not going to get into that. That's always a fun one to get into. But it's just everything you can imagine, just to get those extra likes, just to get those extra bookings even. And to really think that this is someone who has paved the way for so many wrestlers in TNA, and you have had real, actual superstars come out and defend Tommy Dreamer, like Mickie James, who's come out, who's been a big part of TNA, and she's defended him. But at the end of the day, I think people are smart enough to know what is the truth and what's not. But when something just gets so out of control, literally, like I said, I can come on here and I can say that Tommy Dreamer hit on my wife when we went to like a wrestling show. And fortunately, Tommy Dreamer is going to be in the news for a few days now. It's been since Thursday, but I feel like it's only going to get worse as more and more wrestlers come out and just kind of bury him. So let me know what you think, if you're following all this hot drama that's going on in the wrestling community. And yeah, kind of shitty for him, but we stand by Tommy Dreamer. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.